You're listening to Prep Insider Radio with your hosts, Tommy Morris.
Good. This is nothing to do with Sage Creek Baseball, I'm sorry, but have you seen a series of Fortunate Events?
Christian Pedersen.
I mean, I'm out here grinding. I'm putting in hours. I'm getting there at 5 a.m. to cheer on the water polo team at practice. I'm showing up to our basketball team. I'm showing up to our football games. We don't even have a football team, and I'm supporting that.
Noah Laxina.
And Noah Laxina's number 3 tip for Valentine's Day is...
Chill, man. Things are going to be all right. All right? You don't want to force it. Let it happen. You're going to be all right.
And Bodie DeSilva from Scorebook Live.
I mean, he brought basketball into that one. I got to give him 9 out of 10. I like that.
What's good, everybody? Christian Pedersen here for another episode of San Diego Prep Insider. We have everybody listed in that intro, plus Colton Toll, our intern, making a guest appearance again, and Montell Allen is with us. Montell is NBA Sports on Twitter, and he's kind of around everything possible high school football. He helps with recruiting a little bit. Stuff, you've seen him, SEFNL games, raising charity money. Like, there isn't... It would take us forever to fill out this guy's entire resume. We'll just say, what's up, Montell? Thank you for joining us. Everybody, we have a lot to get to, including a Tommy Morris driving range story where apparently he claims he is now the most physically gifted golfer on earth. Bodie has an... hold on. We will get to it. This is called a radio tease. We got Bodie DeSilva from Scorebook Live joining us to talk about the latest conflicts and rule changes with high school sports and club sports. Colton Toll is going to get his crack at the top rivalries in San Diego because he was not with us last week for that, and I would like to get his input because he sees things a little bit differently than all of us since he once decided to have a mullet. And then, but we'll start off the bat though with Montell. Montell, thank you for joining us. I want to get right into it with you. You have spent a ton of this downtime, I'll call it off season, whatever it is in air quotes with the coronavirus, helping kids, who are missing out potentially on part of, if not an entire season, still find ways to get in touch with college coaches, get the information they need to try and get their film out there. And you're hosting Zoom calls, you're doing all sorts of stuff. Wanted to get you on to just kind of fill in people on what you're doing, plug what you're doing, get some information out there, let people know what's up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, thank you guys for having me on, obviously. Before we get started, rest in peace to Hank Aaron.
Absolutely.
This morning. But definitely, what I'm doing is kind of just creating a new lane for recruiting. And I have a Zoom call show that I do every week called Straight from the Horse's Mouth. It's on Sundays at 1 p.m. Unfortunately, it's during the playoffs and all that stuff, but it's a time to get college coaches, active college coaches, to get a chance for student athletes and parents and other coaches to ask them the candid questions they want to ask. And also for them to get a really hard look and a hard understanding of what recruiting is about, what recruiting during this pandemic we have, COVID, how to do social media etiquette, how to be able to market yourself as a student athlete, and how to get things done in this current environment we have in California. So it's been a pretty successful thing we're doing every week. We've had coaches like Rod Smith from Illinois. We've had we're going to have this week's Coach Heffler from Concordia, Wisconsin, and we're covering everything, like I said, from Division I, the big leagues, all the way to Division III, to make sure these kids get a better understanding of what's going on.
So going back to what is going on, some states got to play. Obviously, California, we didn't. But coaches in college, your college coaches aren't dumb. They know there's a lot of talent out here. So what are some of the things you're hearing from coaches as best steps that kids can make, whether it be class of 21 or 22? What can they do? What is the best thing they can do to help themselves market themselves?
I think class of 2021, I'm candid. I'm going to be very candid. They just got screwed. They're screwed all the way around. Not having any senior film for those in-betweener guys. They're in a position where they got to show film, either playing 707, just working out and doing those things to kind of get their names over there in conjunction with their junior film. Guys that are getting all these Division I offers within our county are guys that were already on people's radar. 707 didn't get them scholarships. Playing in all these other things didn't get them scholarships. It was the fact that they were already on someone's radar as a junior, and coaches are going to take a chance on them. Class of 2022 is kind of in a funky situation, in my opinion. If they don't get junior film, it's going to be – they'll still get a chance to do senior film to get recruited, but they're all going to be late to the process. My advice to kids now, especially class of 2022, they're going to have to attend every possible camp they can, outside. Go to these school camps. Going to have to leave outside of California. Go get yourself noticed and get on someone's radar, at least with your skill set. Combine that with your sophomore film and going into your senior year, you'll be able to get something. Class of 2021, the best thing we can do right now, our coaches are going definitely off of just junior film. They're new measurables, so you got to make somebody do your measurables. And some of the coaches was like, film yourself doing the 40-yard dash. Film yourself, working out. Film yourself playing some 7-on-7. Get all that film together and put it on out there and continue to put it out there till you grab some coaches' interest.
I like having, I like having guests on because they can say the things that I feel and have not been able to say. And I'll just say, go back and re-listen to what Montell just said. And there's a lot of truth that I feel like a lot of people in this room will agree with. You're saying, you're going to miss this year film. There's going to be this gap for a couple of classes worth of athletes. Montell, do you think there's going to be a different appreciation for the junior college route for this generation?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, I think Netflix dropped the ball. They should have the last chance this year in California because there's going to be so much talent going on in the JUCO system, I believe. I believe kids still have the aspirations. They think they're going to go to JC, play, and then they're going to be able to jump out and go to Division I. That's the ultimate dream. But the thing is, I think that's misleading. That's kind of a smoke and screen because if the portal stays the way it actively is, the college portal, there really is not too much of a need for junior college guys, except for guys that are going to throw back that need to get the grades to come back up to Division I. You got to remember that portal, with that being a no sit-out rule as of right now, and right now, from what I'm understanding, NCAA might not plan on changing that. If there's no sit-out rule, it's a free agency game now. The lower levels will be the Division AA, the Division IIs, the Division IIIs, and the NAIA schools, because guys that are balling at that level, they'll just poach those guys to come up, and they don't have to worry about the eligibility rule with JC guys. They don't have to worry about that. They don't have to deal with that paperwork. These people are already established in a four-year university. They understand the curriculum of being in the four-year university. It's easy just to pull those guys up. Enter the transfer portal. You have a home. Come on over. We can have you here in spring. So I think the complete dynamic of recruiting is about to change if they do not change the portal. Now, if the portal goes back to where you have to sit out a year, things will kind of get back to normal. But as of right now, with as much money that's in the Power Five, as much money that's in Division I sports, the way they're being televised and everything like that, they want the best of the best, and they know they miss out on kids that are developing these lower levels. So why not go get them and don't have to deal with the academic issues at all? So the changing of the guard is going to happen in the next couple of months with NCAA.
Certainly some interesting times ahead. Montell, we thank you so much for joining us.
Hang on, wait, before speaking of that, hold on, I have one more question for Montell. So you talk about the lower levels. For kids in California, there's not a lot of opportunities in the lower levels because a lot of these programs are shutting down. I know you've been really vocal about trying to get, especially like Division II non-scholarship back in California.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they dropped the ball. State schools and the State Board of Education has dropped the ball by missing out on keeping the mechanism that drives a lot of diversity to their schools and these opportunities for these players to play. It's unfortunate that our players that aren't the Division I elite or aren't very high academic in the Division I AA, or they got to pay a lot of money to go to Division III. So we're missing that middle ground where other states have it. We don't have a Division II program or NAI programs where these guys can straight feed into, keep their family dynamic together, populate that school with diversity males, educate them in our state, support them in our state. They'll come get jobs in our states when they're finished with their degree. We just missed that whole mechanism of driving that workforce out of the state of California, which is a lot of kids. I mean, before there used to be about 6 or 7 Division IIs. Now we have none. And I believe that's a travesty to all these young people. We're screaming about let's let them play in high school. What happens after high school? I mean, that could be 8 to 9, that could be 1,000 kids a year going to our own Division II schools, and we can continue to support them and cheer them on in the state of California. And the parents can watch them and they can have that family structure and dynamic and support mechanism where they can be successful instead of having to send them guys out of state. So I really want to drive that home, and hopefully we catch somebody's ear and we can kind of get things going on rolling that ball. But I mean, obviously first, let them play high school, try to get these guys back. But I feel unfortunate for the kids in 2020.
Is the Home Depot's loyalty program built just.
Oh, sorry about that.
You good, Bodie?
No, I had a pop-up window. So
oh, it's all good.
On mute.
Yeah, I just think the 2021 class is just kind of in a really tough situation, man, and I feel for them. But there is opportunity, man. Let's be real. There's schools that are still poaching kids in California. And I think, but kids are this expectation that they should be going to Division I. I think they need to lower the expectations to get themselves in for a university and kind of take the best opportunities given to them and make the most out of it. If you're that Division I player, obviously transfer portals are for you to go ahead and test that grounds once you're developing to that kind of guy.
You can follow him on Twitter at NBA Sports One. As he said, straight from the horse's mouth. That's the Zoom show that they're doing every week. You definitely need to check that out. Let Montell know what's up. Give him a follow. Shoot him a DM for more information, everything that you need to know. Thank you so much for joining us, Montell, and we hope to see you in person at a game soon? Question mark. Eventually.
If they don't clear this pandemic up, we won't be seeing me till next year. But I mean,
how about this? Well, let's just promise to see each other before 2050 at a football game. Somewhere between now and then. Deal. All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
You guys have a good day, man. You guys, thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Later. Bye.
All right, guys.
And as Montell departs, we will say hello to Noah Laxina. We'll say, what's good, Noah Lax? Definitely go check out what Montell's up to. A lot of interesting stuff. And we will say goodbye to Noah's still coming in and out, it looks like. All right. I wanted to get to Tommy Morris because, as promised, we have a story to tell about Tommy. Tommy allegedly was the driving range spectacle last night at Stadium Golf and putting on like an absolute clinic. So, Tommy, I wanted to get your story. The clean version, please, unlike the previously told one. And then I wanted to ask the question out loud. What is the best experience in sports to be the singular focus of attention? Is it something like the driving range? Is it a home run derby type thing? You're putting on a clinic there. Is it you're the dude who's draining a bunch of threes or dunking the ball? Wanted to get to that. So, Tommy, your story first. Everyone get your answers ready. I want to hear that. We'll go around the room afterwards. Tommy.
I did feel like I was in a home run derby. So I'd say, for those who've been to Stadium Golf, they have some bays that have little, I don't know, simulators. I don't know what the right word for it, but it reads your swing basically. And then it on the screen puts where the ball would have gone if you're playing a course or whatnot. So I did a digital course. It was fun, whatever. I've always been able to hit it far, but I've never gone, okay, this is just me swinging out of my pants. You know what I mean? So I had a couple balls left after, I think it was 20 balls left after I was done with my digital round, shot an 81, not to brag. That was also my best ever. And I just went for it. And the furthest ball I hit carried 350, and then it went into the digital dirt at Stadium Golf. I'm not going to lie. It did have me elevated 15 feet. So it did help me out a little bit there. So that's a little bit unfair. But the carry 350 for me was huge because I've never even hit a ball 350. And it started to be, there were people waiting for their turn, you know what I mean? And people started, instead of waiting, just started to kind of gather around my little bay. And I seriously felt like it was the seat from Happy Gilmore or like I was in a home run derby or something. And it felt good. I'm not going to lie.
Did you go backwards cap Ken Griffey Jr. style, like really ripping and gripping them, or did you maintain the calm demeanor of, yeah, I know people are watching me, but I'm not gonna do this? Because I will say this.
I wasn't wearing a hat, but I rolled the sleeves up a little bit.
Well, and I say because this all comes with the context of for 2 years worth of baseball podcasts hosted at the Canyonside Cages, we would shoot the show. And then immediately after, it would be Tommy asking me and David Ring, hey, can you get me on Snapchat hitting shirtless BP?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be like 20 minutes of shirtless BP of Tommy flexing as hard as he could, pulling soft toss straight into the net. It was not good swings. It was just daddy hacks.
Yeah, such swing reflection. But no, where was I getting that there?
So you maintained a calm demeanor with a sleeve roll.
I tried to pretend like it was like I'd done that a million times, which I clearly hadn't. But I don't think anyone. I'm now pretty positive. I don't know anyone who can hit a golf ball further than me. I'll put that challenge out to anybody.
So let's go around the room. What's the biggest spectacle? The home runs, the dunks, the driving range. What is the biggest flex in sports? Maybe is the appropriate question.
Dunk.
Colton.
Biggest flex in sports? Being able to hit a penalty kick at any given time, every single time.
Okay. That's an eclectic
That's
choice.
a new perspective.
It's tough.
Noah Lax.
Chicks dig the long ball, man.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Home runs. At the end of the day, you got that sweet swing. Everybody's looking.
Now, Noah, are you do you flip the bat? Do you stand there and watch it without throwing? Like you hold the bat while you stand and watch it? Do you run with the bat a little bit?
That's a whole art of within itself.
And that's why I'm asking you, because you have the finesse feel.
I think it's all feeling. It's just all feeling. Sometimes you just got to sit there and admire it and look at it. And then after it goes over the fence, you could just walk a little bit and then start running. Sometimes it's like with the emotion, you got to flip it because maybe like they almost pegged you the pitch before. So you got to flip it. Sometimes it's it's all business. So as soon as you hit it, you don't even act like you did anything. You just run around the bases.
Like sprint. Just book it.
Sometimes like I'm just like, maybe you're down 2 and you hit a solo shot and you're like, we're not done yet.
And you get everybody back in the dugout. You get everybody back in the dugout. No, just chill.
Don't even come out. Like we're here. We're here, but we're coming, you know? It's all feel. But if it's like for a World Series, I think I just flip it and just like just flex as hard as I could, biceps, and then just dang, I want to hit one right now.
I'm not gonna lie. I've in the process of cleaning up the garage because I've reached that level of pandemic isolation boredom. I might have cleared out enough space that I found myself looking online at Dick's Sporting Goods for a tee and some balls and a net, thinking, you know what? Yeah. Like this might not be the worst like home exercise to just, take a couple hundred swings every day. Not that I know how to do it. Like I was a pitcher. I admit I suck at hitting. Awful. I got a hit once in Little League. That was about it. But I do like the addition of the guys, the Korean gentleman that the Padres have added, because he is a bat flipper, and I feel like that adds nicely to our lineup. Bodie, biggest flex in sports.
Yeah, I got to agree with Noah. The home run, especially, I mean, even in non-game competitions, if you have a guy in batting practice that can just put on a show, I'll always find that super impressive.
Can I throw out the caveat of I think that a knockout punch in boxing is the actual biggest flex?
That's a literal like punching someone's lights out.
Yeah, like the Mike Tyson knockout punch. Like the Jorge Masvidal kick, like something like that, like might be the biggest flex. But yeah, I agree with you guys on that. I'll say it seems like it's becoming more and more of a flex to be able to hit a field goal. Like the last couple of years, it seems like that's become real hard for a lot of people. So brand. Yeah, so hitting like one of those like 60+ yarders seems
feels
like that.
Like there's about 10 people on the planet who can do it well.
Yeah, I'll say this one, like for pregame, like a pregame one that kind of stands out would be dunking. Like dunking in the pregame lines.
Dunking over somebody. Dunking, like if you can post
dunk contest.
Yeah.
Winning
Like
a dunk contest.
Nah, because that's goofy and style stuff.
If we do a dunk contest, it needs to be at Sky Zone because we all know we're not good enough.
I can't even touch I'm not trying to do that.
No. Hey, we could take a trip to Sky Zone when it opens up, and we'll have a little dunk contest. I'll
pull all my hamstrings going.
You know what we need to do for our next Throwback Thursday is just dust off our whole library of dunk competition dunks. Because we have 2 years worth of really good dunk competition dunks, including the one where Miles Norris launched from damn near the other side of the Helix gym. And then the rest of their team is just shirtless in the background screaming, "Let's go! What's good?"
Well, Isaiah Woodens was so good because he's short. So like,
okay. That's trickery. Isaiah Wooden was blessed by a shaman and can fly, like literally. That dude has that dude has the flexes of all flexes.
That's true. That's true.
Bodie, let's get to the update on the CIF sort of rules, bylaws. I don't know what to call all the directives. but they have decided to adjust course on their allowing of athletes to play high school sports and club sports at the same time. I wanted to get your take on it.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing, but I understand that they're just, if there is a way to bring people back, to limit them to not be at all these other groups. The only thing from my point of view is I just don't see, say high school started a month from now, how are you going to control whether a kid in his free time is playing for a club team? Like, there's no one. I think it's just going to be on yourself really to impose any rule. So it's disappointing to look at the rule. I understand it, but I also think if someone's going to really want or need to do it, then they'll just end up doing it anyways. So that's kind of really all there is on the more than one team at a time right now.
I sort of saw it as there is a good news silver lining way to look at this, because I feel like there was a chunk of me that when CIF initially announced that, it was like initially as in we're not going to have this conflict, we're waiving this part of the rule, was I think done in good faith of them sort of saying, we don't pretend like we're going to have high school sports going on right now. So everybody go, if you got to get something, go do it. I think this is them saying we're going to start taking measures to return to normalcy. And we feel confident that there are going to be high school sports happening soon-ish, comparative to how long we have not had them. So everybody start getting back to that normal, regular mindset, and we got to reverse course on this. I would also hope that, you know, for as much as you are absolutely correct, Bodie, that people are going to go wherever they need to go. If they really feel like they need to do that sport, they're going to go to Arizona, they're going to go to Utah, they're going to go do whatever. I would hope that there would be at least some chunk of the population that would just not feel that it was worth it, and that could help bring virus numbers down just the slightest. Like, because every little bit of that helps a ton right now.
I think especially if whatever high school sports are able to come back, whether it's just outdoor, just certain seasons, whatever that may be, I think that'll also draw the club numbers going down, because there isn't as much a need for exposure. So I don't think there'd be too much on the doubling up, but with so much packed into one season, I understand that there may be kids that, I need to play my other club team for another sport at the same time. But
it will be interesting to see. Anybody else got anything on that, or can we move on to missed opportunities at talking about rivalry games?
The only news I'll add on that is I know our section is expected to come out with a new announcement today, which I would assume that it's going to somewhat copy the southern section, and that would be to cancel the championships for the season 1 sports. I know the LA City section canceled everything except cross country. Southern section canceled everything. So I would think will be some combination of those two.
And let's, at this point, we're 30 minutes into a show. I don't want to dive into a hypothetical of what we do or don't feel like. Bodie, let everyone know, because I'm assuming you'll have a written article up about that later today. Let everyone know where they can find stuff.
Yeah, at SB Live CA on all the social medias, and scorebooklive.com/California.
I will say this, if it is something that is so atrociously like, holy hell, they just nuked a season or something like that, we'll come back on. We'll do another show. But really being honest with all of ourselves, we can wait a week. Like, this is not the NBA or NFL deciding to or not to return. There will be plenty of time to get to the rest of this. So let's talk rivalries. Noah, Colton, you guys were not here last week when we spoke with Jonathan Rifkind, our new play-by-play announcer, and he is new to San Diego. So we were kind of educating him on top rivalries as an entire school versus school, program versus program. We didn't really have any set rules on it. And me, Bodie, Tommy each gave our top 3. Twitter has rang in a little bit on this lately, the last couple of days. But I wanted to hear from both of you guys, because you guys see San Diego County differently than the rest of us on this show. So let's, if it's okay with you, I would like to get 3 solid rivalries from both of you. We can go back and forth. Colton, we will start with you.
I think without a doubt, number 1's the Holy Bowl. Any platform, the Holy Bowl's the best rivalry in sports, or in high school in San Diego.
In sports.
In sports.
I mean, not in sports.
That was funny.
In sports, keep it.
It's better than Lakers Celtics for sure.
That was spoken like somebody who's trying to still transfer to Cathedral. Like Colton's trying to be like, can I get on the team, please?
Red shirt, not red shirt.
Got a red shirt. Noah Laxina, one of your top 3 rivalries in San Diego County that Jonathan Rifkin, the new guy, would need to know about.
I'm gonna say Saints Helix. That's like an underrated one that's been picking up.
Okay.
They've had a lot of historic battles in the last recent champion, and it's not like a really like a regular season thing, but like if you see them meet up in the championship, it's like, okay, this was built up and then built up on the past experiences that they had against each other. You know, those alma mater, like, hey man, you got to get it back for us. You got to go get one back because we let it slip. I think that's like a building one.
Colton Toll, your number 2 rivalry that the new guy needs to know about.
I think Lincoln Morris usually has some of the best players in the county at all times, and having them face each other is always fun to watch. Always has some exciting games out of those teams.
Yeah, I feel like the football version of that rivalry especially is going to be really, really interesting this year with Byron Cardwell going to Morse and them, I would assume they're going to hand him the ball 90% of the time. And
between him and Jacob Hicks, they got some runners.
Yeah, they got.
That's what they want to do anyway. So
that game with Lincoln will last about 45 minutes. Noah Laxina.
Next chance to go catch another one that day.
we'll catch 2. Noah Laxina. Before we get to your next rivalry, I will throw out one that I feel like we overlooked last week, and I want to send an apology out there because we didn't get a ton of East County love. I would say that Steel Canyon and Valhalla is an underrated rivalry, especially in basketball. That is a great rivalry there. Noah Laxina, hit us with another one.
I'm going to go. Could you say Toy Pines Cathedral? Is that like a...
Yeah, that's a rivalry. That's the Battle of Del Mar Heights.
For sure, right? That's a thing.
That's a good one because most people think of each of their like league rival, but that's a good one.
That's a geographic rival. That's one of those ones. For sure, that's like a San Marcos Mission Hills one. Like,
okay, I'm gonna go with that because just the atmosphere of when we covered, not to be like selfless plug, but when we covered the CIF championships. The open division, that was intense. Like just being on the sideline for that, man. And they're both run wing T too. You both run wing T, and they're the best at doing at the wing T. So the 2 best wing Ts going at it, like that gets me going.
That one got uncomfortable after the game on Twitter.
You like that, huh, Tommy?
I do. I love the wing tee.
That's different. I'm coming different today. I love it. I love me some wing tee. That's some high school right there. That sounds like high school football to me.
Tommy, credit you for one of your best shots into a tight window right there. Just coming blaring out with the wing tee from the only screen that is just a blank tee on the Zoom chat. Tommy Morris, any rivalries that do you feel like we left out?
No, I mean I think we did a lot of them last week, so I don't want to steal the thunder away from any of the ones we mentioned this week.
Deal. Colton, hit us with one from the South Bay, man.
South Bay?
Yeah. Ooh, that's where you from. That's what you're supposed to be plugging and covering. Ooh. You'll get it.
Man, I think Sweetwater Chula has been going on for a long time, and they always play some good games. I go Sweetwater Chula in the South Bay.
Okay. I feel like that's a little bit of a trivia question there.
Or Battle of the O's too.
I was hoping Noah was going to say that one. I feel like Noah should have plugged that one.
I'm not even gonna say Battle of the O's because in like technically the record is really one-sided. So I'm not even gonna mention that. The trophy usually stays in one place. I know it's been different the last year or so, but the trophy usually stays in one place. So we're not even gonna entertain that. I'd say Olympian Eastlake. I think the records are very identical. Yeah. And back in just some little, for all you kids out there that don't know, back in the beginning of the 2010s, when Olympian first went into the league, and Isak was like even more of a South Bay powerhouse. Olympian did beat them the first like 3 times. So like even we know Isak is this big powerhouse, but the first like 3 times that Olympians played them, they actually mopped them up. So that's a pretty even record right there. I think that's the bigger one. I don't think when you go to Olympian, you focus more on that one because the trophy is just to come out and flex, and then it's going to go back home and it's just going to stay there, but it's just to admire. But the Isak one's the one you want because they got the Isak's the biggest target.
It's funny how we're like 3 or 4 completed passes away from this whole conversation being very different because Noah would have a ring on his finger and Olympian would be a South Bay champion and
3.
I mean, I mean, I hate to bring up a bad memory, Noah, but are we like, that's the crazy thing about sports, right? Like three completed passes, right? Like,
not just any completed passes.
Like home run balls, certified home run balls.
Open. It happens, man. It's a make or miss league.
You would have caught those, right, Uncle Rico?
I'm not even I'm just gonna look at this right here. These are the only championships I could hold on to. The one on my hat. I'm gonna just enjoy that. Shout out to my brothers though. We had a good little run.
But that's what I'll say is like that's how crazy some of this is that there are schools that are lurking, like straight waiting for the throne that we see so many times come so close to get their opportunities. That's what's crazy about this. Guys, I feel like we've probably pretty much filled up everyone's time today, getting a couple of great topics in. Tommy has sent me a video. I'm going to watch it real quick. Oh, Tommy, you are flexing.
That wasn't yesterday, but it's what it looked like.
Hold on. I want to live react. Yeah, that.
Does that hear like just a noise?
All right. Am I good to post this to Twitter?
Probably not.
Okay, then. Fair enough.
I'll leave you to judge that.
I was hoping there was going to be a run up to the ball.
Yeah, I was too. Weren't we all? Alrighty, guys. Anything else from anyone before we get out of here?
I will challenge anyone. I'm throwing it out there.
Deal. Well,
if
then
anyone wants to play at the My Park or the Rec Center in 2K.
Oh no, I'm gonna come find you. Actually, I have a guy now.
Really?
I'm gonna come. Wait, does it matter if we have PS2 or Xbox or whatever we have?
You have to have a PlayStation. You have to PS2. You have to have a PlayStation. I have a PS4.
Yeah, PS2. That might be.
If you have a PS4 or a PS5 that's not next gen, hit us up on our account so we could get some streams going. Let's talk, man.
Tommy moves into a brand new house and knows so little about technology that he hands his guy, hey, here's a bunch of money, go install me the newest, coolest ish, and he comes back with a PS2.
Hey, I'm not a PlayStation guy. I'm an Xbox guy. I have an Xbox. I don't have the new one because it's impossible to get it, but I'm close.
PS4 guys, I have a 92 overall scoring machine. He averages 13 points and 8 assists at the Rec Center. So I pass the ball.
All right, deal. I'm gonna buy. I'll buy 2K. This is 2K, right?
Yes, I passed the ball.
I want to see his outfit. No, send us a picture of him.
All right, I'll buy.
Hey, you know how I just grew this out recently? Like I put this on my guy.
Nice.
I was like, hey, I'm talking to this girl. I was like, you know what? I tattooed you on my body in 2K. That's love right there. Yeah, hey, that's a good one, huh, Tommy? That's a good one, huh? I'll tattoo you up. Hey, take some notes, kids. Don't do it in real life, but do it on 2K.
Oh my!
And on that note, I will say thank you everybody for tuning in. We love you guys. We'll talk to you next week.